Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, and welcome to the first official story of 2025. We're going to be getting back into anime DC Comics as we now go into Chapter 3, that being Tales of the Infinite Earths, with Part 1 being Tales of Earth 2. Now, with this story and with Part 1 of Chapter 3, we're going to be doing stories that are set in my version of an Earth 2, combining anime and DC Comics, with Earth 2 being a feature of DC's more iconic and Golden Age characters iconic and symbolic of the Justice Society. And in this world, we continue with the tales of Dr. Fate and his ties to the Joestar family, as we go into the second installment with JoJo's bizarre adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? Part 1. Without further ado, as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Robert E.O. Speedwagon, a man who had seen much trial and tribulation in his time, a man whose adventures had taken him all around the world and allowed him to see much, whether being an oil tycoon, the founder of a multi-million-dollar corporation, or serving as the masked vigilante Sandman. A hero iconic, shrouded in mystery, with a fedora, a gas mask, and his infamous gas gun. Infamous to the creatures of the night. Yes, Speedwagon had lived a mighty life. But now, even in his old age, despite everything he had been through, the battles, the loss of friend and family alike, he continued to trudge on in his journey. He would not let what Jonathan done be forgotten, and he continued on that fight, the fight against the forces of evil, those who, if they had it their way, would be the end of mankind as we know it. His journeys had now led him to Mexico with an archaeologist team, along with special reinforcements, those capable of wielding the sacred power of Haman energy, the ability of the sun. Why had he called them all here? Because his journey had now led him to a new discovery. A discovery of an ancient evil, an evil that they thought they had buried in London long ago. It seemed like the sins of Wotan had now outstretched into the world. For inside of a closed cave, what appeared to be a tomb, a man etched into a pillar of stone, and around him, stone mask. "My God, Speedwagon," one of the Tibetan monks said. "What is this?" "It is an evil," Speedwagon said. "An evil that I thought would never again surface into this world. They are the stone mask, the masks that were wielded by the likes of Wotan and Dio. I brought you all here because this evil can never be allowed to see the light of day. I swore my life. I swore on the grave of my friend Jonathan Joestar. I swore in the name of my mentor Duds. I swore in the name of all that is truly good in this world that I would use every ounce of my strength, every ounce of my being, every ounce of fortitude to wipe this scum of the earth. I have brought you here today, you men imbued with the power of Haman, that we, the warriors of the sun, we have come now to do the bidding of good, to wipe away this evil. This man, this stone man, He cannot be allowed to live. These masks must be destroyed at all cost. A member of the group, a man known as Strazo, would immediately begin to attack everyone around him. Speedwagon reached to his side, attempting to pull out the gas gun, only for his hand to be severely injured, struck by a powerful blast of Hamon, knocking the gun out of his hand and sending him to the ground. Strazo! Why? Because I remember that day, Speedwagon. Dio, when we went up against the creature of the night. If you know about it, then why? Why would you side with the likes of evil? You know what Dio's done. He was twisted, a corrupt, cruel man, and his heart was only filled with more evil by that demon Wotan. So why? Why would you side with? It is not about siding with him, Speedwagon. I wish to obtain the power for myself. But you have Hamon! You have been blessed with the power of the sun. So why would you face reality? Hamon is a dying art. There was only one of us, only one who had the true blessing of the sun, who had the blessing of Nabu. That was Jonathan Joestar, when he was given the power and the helmet of fate. But now it is gone, lost at sea along with him. Now a new power will come to the surface. Strazo took a stone mask and placed it upon himself before taking blood of Speedwagon, the mask grabbing hold as it transformed him. With this, now I can live forever. Meanwhile, in New York, 1938, a young man by the name of Joseph Joestar was sitting down in a cafe along with his good friend Smokey Brown. The two had met under the most awkward of circumstances. Smokey, a pickpocket, and someone who was about to be roughed up by some not too decent lawmen, until, unbeknownst to him, a young man would save his life. That man being Joseph Joestar, a boy who oozed charisma and charm, a boy who wasn't from the good old US of A, but still found his roots here in the States. A young man who took no nonsense from anyone and stood up to all form of tyranny and bigotry. Of course, in these times, Smokey was not looked upon favorably by many. A time when hate and discrimination was still etched in the hearts of many. But there were people like Joseph, people like his grandmother Irina, those who were not swayed by the mere thoughts of one's skin, but those who judged on character and good deed. And to them, that is what made a true friend. Say, JoJo? Yes, Smokey. What seems to be the matter? It's just that your grandma was looking a little troubled, you know? I mean, about the news of your friend and all that. Oh, you're talking about Speedwagon, eh? Yes, he's been a family friend of ours for a while now. I've known him for as long as I've been alive. Yes, the old coot. Always getting into trouble, always doing something so stupid and reckless. It seems as though he's finally bitten the dust, though I guess it can't be helped when you live your life like a fool. But JoJo, he was your friend. Yes, and how much of a friend could he be if he wouldn't have called me for help? Seriously, what could he have been thinking? Just then the doors to the cafe would open as Strazo walked inside. Joseph recognized him. He could sense his Hamon from miles away, but he could also feel something else, a coldness in the air. Joseph kindly stood from his seat as Straizo approached. Joseph Joestar, as I live and breathe. Straizo, it's been forever if it's been a day. Yes, it has. I do believe you were informed of what happened to Speedwagon. Yes, I was informed. And I do thank you for coming for your condolences. Smokey, don't you feel like you need to get some air? Huh? What are you? I think everyone in here could use some air. Immediately, Straizo found himself being pumped full of lead as Joseph fired off his Tommy gun, emptying out the entire magazine into the Hamon user. The patrons inside of the cafe would run out screaming. Police were being called nearby. A mad-wielding gunman had now fired into the store, and Smokey couldn't believe it. JoJo, what have you done? You just gunned that man down! Smokey, get out of here. That is no ordinary man. He may look normal, but I assure you he's anything but. Isn't that right, Straizo? I saw it the moment you opened your mouth to speak, you treacherous worm. Nothing gets past a Joestar. You truly are exquisite, Straizo said as he opened his mouth, showing his fangs. What is he? He's a vampire, Smokey. He's the undead itself, a being of darkness that shouldn't be walking this earth. What would you know about the darkness, Joestar? You pompous brat, a boy blessed by the light. How many years did I have to train to master my Hamon? How many waking moments? Aw, it sounds like a skill problem. Make your remarks, boy. All I've done is even the playing field. There's no way you can win against me. I too have studied and mastered Hamon, and my knowledge trumps yours, boy. It is night and day. Funny how you would use the words night and day, considering the fact that you've been reduced to hiding in the night. But tell me, was your betrayal worth it, Straizo? Were you able to achieve the power you were looking for? And what's worse is that of all the places you could have gone, of all the places you could have shown yourself, you smug son of a bitch, you choose to show your treacherous face to me. I've heard a lot about my grandfather, and I'll say this. For all the virtues that I could have gotten from the man, patience isn't one of them. So we're done talking here. With a flick of his wrist, explosions would begin to occur inside of the cafe, as both Smokey and JoJo would get out. How were... You're probably going to ask, how were I able to attach all of those grenades to your jacket when you weren't looking? How were you able to attach all those grenades to my jacket when I weren't looking? How was I able to evade your laser blast of Hamon? Well, it's quite easy. When you have a mirror, of course. You and your tricks, JoJo. They will get you nowhere. What an abomination! JoJo, this guy, he's a freaking monster! Yes, he is. And he seems to be regenerating quite well. So what's the plan? What are we gonna do? It's simple. He may be a monster, a creature of the night, and a vile evil so terrifying that it may even give the devil nightmares. But we have the one thing he doesn't. What's that? You see his legs? Yeah, they're kind of regrowing. Exactly. We have strong, healthy, sturdy legs. So, what does that mean? It means, look that way. JoJo? We run! We run, Smokey! We run like there's no tomorrow! And we get the hell out of here! That's the plan! What? JoJo, you can't be serious! JoJo. Oh no. Wait! Don't run! Don't! JoJo! Don't you leave here without me! Damn you! Yeah! The two boys found themselves running down the streets of New York before soon they would find themselves heading towards a bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge, to be more specific, and Straizo, the undead Hammon vampire, was closely on their tails. But he had a plan. As the boys approached the bridge, being forced to climb up its infrastructure, and with no safety net vest, Straizo would follow, with a woman in tow. Oh no, JoJo! He's got a hostage! Yes, I can see that. What's the meaning of this, Straizo? She has no business between you and I. Yes, she does. This woman will tell me all that I need to know. For you see, I must determine whether or not you are truly a threat to me. If you attempt to save this girl, or if you attempt to avenge her, then it means that you will be a threat in the future, and you are an enemy that I must destroy here and now. But if you turn tail and run, if you show your cowardice and weakness, then I'll know without a shadow of a doubt that you are not someone who is worthy, and I will have no reason to fear you. We will not be enemies anymore. Oh, please. If that's really what you're going to do, then you can go ahead and drop the winch now. What? Smokey would say. Yeah, go ahead. She's not really my type anyway. I prefer people who are more curvaceous and have more of a good rump, if you know what I mean. You can't be serious, JoJo. I'm not joking. I'm not playing around. Straizo would begin to pull at her teeth. You're a sick man. No, I am sane. I'm rational. I am close to perfection. I am perfection. I must know, JoJo. What are you? What are you really? I'm just a man who's bored, Straizo. That's what I am. What are you? Some villain out of a comic strip? Yes, take the damsel and you're going to try to hold her hostage to play on my morality. Like it's really going to make a difference. A difference? Whether you kidnap her or not, it changes nothing. Whether she lives or not, it changes nothing. In the end, you are going to die, Straizo. That I promise you. JoJo. That woman! I gotta do something! Smokey, stay in place. I have a plan. Oh, what? You're gonna run away? Who's gonna save her? He is. From out of nowhere, a streak of red and black would appear into the night sky, swooping in and pulling the girl to safety. At that moment, a dark cloud would begin to emerge onto the bridge. Smokey couldn't see what was happening, but Joseph, he already knew. It took you long enough, Captain. We'll save the pleasant talks later. You go get him now, JoJo. Right. Fool, I am no longer a mere man. I not only have the power of Hammon on my side, but I too am now a master of the night. There's no way that I will ever be deceived by the likes of you! Straizo would attempt to strike in the dark cloud. However, Joseph was quick, making sure that he dodged at the last moment as he used his Hamon-infused fist before striking away at Straizo at the final moment. Straizo had been defeated and now was reduced to the verge of death. But before falling away, he would be grabbed by Joseph. It's not over, Straizo. Not until I get my answers. But how? I know that I hit you. Are you sure about that? You forget I am the grandson of Jonathan Joestar. I've learned to use my Hamon in many ways. Far more than you could ever dream of. Is that right? To conjure illusions. That black smoke? Yes, it's quite dangerous to your kind. It's not just for blinding. It's made from a special powder. Speedwagon. Precisely. It wasn't just a way to throw you off. The longer you chose to breathe it in, you were sealing your own fate. It's called Black Sun Ash, and it's not just a smoke used to try to disorientate the villain. But if your kind were to breathe it in, it's laced Hamon. And over time, the deeper you take it in, it burns you up from the inside. I didn't think you would call the captain. He was on his way to New York. Unfortunately, you just happened to beat him to the punch is all. I must give Speedwagon my regards. Why? You murdered him. No, JoJo. Speedwagon lives. But for how long, I don't know. Soon they will awaken. They? They who? The ones who from the mask came into this earth. They are the true race. The Pillar Man. The Pillar Man? What is this? And what do you mean about Speedwagon? He could be alive. He could be dead. But who's to say? Only time will tell. But why, Straizo? Why do this? You are a respected master of Hamon. Why? Because I would rather live for eternity in hell than to die of old age in peace. If I go to hell, I will be a monster. Now, do what you will. JoJo! Straizo! Straizo's body would disintegrate as he began to fade away into ash and dust, crumbling into nothing. Meantime, on the ground below, the woman that was saved by Captain Midnight would look to the hero graciously, as well as the people in the crowd, but as Joseph joined them, she made sure to give him a slouch slap in the face. Ow! But why? Well, you did say you were gonna let her die, Smokey said. You're not helping, Smokey. Well, JoJo, you certainly have a way with women. Captain, you were cutting it pretty close, weren't you? Hey now, traveling overseas is a lot harder than you might think. We all can't be around in a flash. So, who's your friend? This is my good chum, Smokey. Smokey Brown. Smokey, this is Captain Midnight. Yep, or you can just call me Jim, son. Jim Albright. Say now, How's Irina doing? Granny Irina? She's doing all right. I'm sure she'd love to have you over for supper. Please, come this way. Before long, Granny Irina would have a chance to meet with Captain Midnight once again. He was a good young man, someone who had been helping out in efforts along with Speedwagon. Of course, when she had heard the news, it filled her with some discomfort, but she was happy to know that there was a chance that he was still alive. You say he was in Mexico, Irina said. Yes, ma'am. I have reason to suspect that Speedwagon might not be out for the count. I had to come here to confirm things and to be sure, and I was able to help out your grandson and his friend. Yes, these two boys are always up to something, but it does me well to know that they always look out for each other. Thank you, Jim. Yes, ma'am, you're welcome. But now that does lead to the matter of this investigation. We don't know what's gone down in Mexico, Miss Joestar, and since we're not entirely sure of what the future holds, I want to go investigate personally. I came here because I wanted to recruit your grandson, if you don't mind. But of course, I knew it was only natural. Wait, Joseph said. Before we do anything, there's something I need. Granny Irina? No, I won't do it. Please. We've had this talk before. And I won't do it to you, Jonathan. I'm sorry. Jonathan? Her husband, Smokey thought. But why would she say Jonathan to Joseph? Joseph walked to his grandmother as her hands were shaking as she clutched her cup of tea. Granny, you knew this was going to happen sooner or later. But you know what happened last time. That thing, it took over you. You weren't yourself. I swore that I would never let you go through that again. I won't lose you the way I lost Jonathan. You won't lose me. I'm stronger now than I was back then. I won't let him take me over. But if what's happening is going to happen, I need his help. But you're strong enough. I know you are. I believe in you. I don't doubt for a second what you're capable of. I see him when I look at you. My beloved, my son. You're all I got, and I can't lose you too. I don't know if I can handle it. You won't. We Joestar men are strong, stronger than you could possibly imagine. I won't let him take me over. He won't use me. I will use him. He may be a bastard. Watch your mouth. Yes, ma'am. He may not be a savory fellow, but we fight for the same cause. This is for the world, Granny. Please. All right. Together, the two of them would walk upstairs to the attic as they searched through chest after chest before finding one that was secured and locked away. A chest with a combination lock that could only be unwielded by someone with Haman. Joseph put his hand on the key lock, and slowly, the mechanisms would turn as the chest would open. Inside of the chest, lined with a silk, there was a golden helmet. Smokey looked on, seeing it, and even though it seemed to be nothing more but a helmet, he felt a little uneasy, like he was in the presence of great power. What is that? It's my family's legacy, Smokey. This is what will change everything. Not now. Please. Joseph wouldn't put it on, but he knew what it meant, and he knew that he would need it. Just as they were preparing to leave, Smokey would announce that he wanted to tag along. Of course, Joseph was against it, and even Captain Midnight had his reservations. Come on, you're about to go on some dangerous adventure. Don't you think you'd want to have your friend by your side? It's not about that, Smokey. This isn't just some run-of-the-mill game we're talking about. Yeah, neither is life here. Huh? Come on. This might be my only chance to ever get outside into the world, to actually see it for what it's worth. I may not know everything, and I may not always have the right idea of things either. But you and I are a team. Besides, I think Granny Irina's gonna want someone out there watching your back. You're a sly one, Smokey, I'll give you that. Besides, the only reason why she's gonna let you go is because I'm the one that's gonna be there next to you. You boys just love getting into trouble, don't you? Jim said. Still, if you think you can hold your own, then by all means you can tag along. I don't see any reason why you can't. Really? I get to team up with Captain Midnight? Smokey said with a grin on his face. It will do my heart comfort, knowing that all three of you will be there to watch each other's backs. Of course, Granny Irina, Joseph said. Then we have no time to waste. Good. I'll get the gas can and I'll fire up the jets, and we can take off. Take off? Where are we going in? Smokey said. Soon, all three found themselves high in the sky, riding in the personal jet of Captain Midnight. It had been known as the Silver Dart, a special gift from Speedwagon Corporation. Say, Smokey said, yelling out to the group in the cabins. How exactly does Joseph know Captain Midnight? I don't know anything about your family, but you seem to know some crazy and powerful people, JoJo. He's an old friend, Smokey, Joseph said. We go a long ways. Before I was even born, Speedwagon and Captain here, they fought in many a battle side by side. Battle? In war? A war, yes, but not against man. Then against what? Monsters. As the Silver Dart flew overhead into the night, heading into the land of Mexico, a shadowy figure followed from a distance. He had been watching and waiting, knowing that soon he would need to make his move against Joestar. It has finally returned, Master. Our long-awaited adversary has awoken. The enemy of the light. The warrior of the sun. The master of fate. Meanwhile, in an underground laboratory in Mexico, a battered and beaten Speedwagon slowly awakens. He finds himself handcuffed to a bed as there are servants tending to his medical needs. Why in God's name am I still alive? No, my friend, not in God's name, in the name of man. I know that tone. German. But of course, it is only through the might of the German power that you have been restored. Speedwagon. Who are you? I am the proclaimed general in the army of the Third Reich. I am Stroham, Rudolf von Stroham. And I see that you have been a busy man, Speedwagon. But I must wonder, what were you doing here in Mexico? Please, don't do anything foolish. Foolish? No. I come for knowledge. Knowledge that leads to power. You don't want this power. You will doom all of humanity. No, Speedwagon, no. I will bring humanity into its next evolution. But first, you will tell us everything you know. Tell me, Speedwagon, what do you know about the Pillar Man? This concludes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate, Part 1. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow as we continue with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate, Part 2. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.